The New York Giants made the playoffs last season with first-year head coach Ben McAdoo. And when I still look at their team, there still needs to be some improvements here and there. Now, to address the releasing of Victor Cruz, I thought it was a smart move on his part. I still think Victor Cruz can still play, but the fact is he's supposed to be a mentor to Odell Beckham. And the fact that he was partying with him in Miami is unacceptable. And it was a smart move by the Giants to get rid of him because that's who he was early on in his career. But now he basically let Odell get in control, and that wasn't good. And that's why I think Victor Cruz was still on the roster for the most part. Now, obviously, he has a bad knee, but there might be a chance that he can still play. So, obviously, that knee injury really hurt his playmaking ability, but he can still catch very well, and he'll easily find a home. Maybe the Panthers, who knows? But when it comes to their team, I still think that if they could go after a wide receiver, and yes, I know they drafted Sterling Shepard, I think Brandon Marshall might be available for a trade. And I think that when I look at Eli Manning, he needs someone that can fight for the sidelines, and he also needs a big target because Eli is not the most accurate quarterback. Now, when it comes to tight end, I think Larry O'Donnell, they might part ways with him. That actually might not be a bad move on their part, but at the same time, though, he still had some production in the past, and they don't really use a tight end that much. And the Will Ty is fine; they like to use him as a fullback and tight end and whatnot. But let's address running back. I look at Leonard Fournette, and I look at him as a Brandon Jacobs type running back. So I think the Giants would be a smart move for them to go after him. And he's definitely explosive, which is good, and he's a big guy if you've seen footage of him. And he might fall in their lap. And hell, they might even draft him in the second round because running backs sometimes don't get drafted too highly. And so that could be a good move on their part. And when I look at Shane Vereen, I think they're fine at receiving back. Obviously, Bobby Rainey wasn't all that great. And when I heard rumors of Adrian Peterson, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him in, but I'm not exactly sure if Adrian Peterson can still play, though. But if they do go after him, if he's released or something, it would be a smart move. But I wouldn't trade too highly for Adrian Peterson, probably, because we don't know if he can still play. Now, when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, they are a great blitzing team. But the fact is that it felt their defensive backs were getting more sacks than their defensive line. And that's not exactly how the Giants play. And I think if they're going to need to back up the blitzing like they used to do in the 2011 team where they could just rush for and get to the quarterback easily, I look at Eziekel Ansah as a potential target in free agency. I look at Chandler Jones as a potential target in free agency. So those are definitely some positions to work on. Now, obviously, I look at linebacker as a definitely possibility. Dante Hightower might be on the market. I think he could be a very good pickup right there. And also in the first round, there's some interesting guys, a lot of aggressive linebackers out there that the Giants can look after. So that might be interesting and all of that. And when I look at obviously secondary, maybe they could go after another safety because I know D'Angelo Hall, not bad. He's just up there in age. And so maybe just get a center fielder up there so Landon Collins can cut in routes and whatnot. So those are some things where I look at the New York Giants. Now, they obviously play in a very competitive division, and obviously the Dallas Cowboys looks like they got a legit team there. You got the Redskins, not a bad team either. And they also got Carson Wentz in Philadelphia. So there's still a presence there, and there's still some threat for the New York Giants. So they need to be assertive and be aggressive like they were last season. And so if you get Eziekel Ansah or Chandler Jones on both sides, they can really back off the blitzing, now make them more of a complete team because they were really exploited out there by the Green Bay Packers. And when it comes to receivers, I'm not saying they have to go after Brandon Marshall, but obviously I look at Dwayne Harris. I think he was very good, and he's a very good third wide receiver in the slot and whatnot. Very good return man. Usually that's probably the reason why he's good at it. And overall, maybe the O-line could use some improvement here and there. I know Brandon Albert might be available for a trade, so that could be a big possibility right there for the New York Giants. And overall, the New York Giants, if they want to go back to the playoffs again, they're going to have to remain aggressive this offseason.